Welcome back for another chapter in the Lord of the Rings Journeys to Middle-earth board game. This will be the beginning of Chapter 8. We are starting with Aragorn with his special ability. When heroes scout during the rally phase, you and nearby heroes each reveal one additional card. He has a new sword. One success is 3 hits and 2 is 5 hits. And after you defeat an enemy group, you may discard 1 face-down damage or fear. Garb, increase your damage and fear limits by 1. Before you suffer face-down damage, you may prevent 1 of that damage. It's got some food rations. Start of the rally phase, you may deplete this item for a hero in your space to discard 1 damage. And a banner. After you or a nearby hero rest or guards or hides, that hero gains 1 inspiration. He's starting with a prepped, well-provisioned. Start of your turn, you may discard the skill for you and a nearby hero to scout 2. And Gimli, special ability. After you attack, you may place 1 card from the test on top of your deck. An upgraded battle axe. 1 success is 3 hits, or 1 success for 2 hits and asunder, and then 2 successes for 6 hits. Ring mail, decrease your agility by 1, increase your fear limit by 1. If you would test wisdom, spirit, or wit to negate, you may test might instead. If you would test agility or might, you may deplete this item to test might or agility instead. Before you move out of a space, you may deplete this item to not provoke attacks. And he starts with you cannot pass prepped. You can use guard for nearby heroes in addition to heroes in your space. And it also has guard 3, discard to prevent 3 damage or fear for a hero in your space. The journey to the Brandywine took you underground, and your eyes take a moment to adjust to the sunlight, and your ears to the sounds of life. Each hero shuffles 1 weakness into the deck, which I've already done, and then each hero scouts 3. There's 3 cards, Master Tactician, which is a new one. Start of your turn, each hero may discard 1 prep skill. Each hero who does scouts 3. We will go ahead and prep Agility. Put Tactician on top and Wit on the bottom. And for Gimli, he will prep Restless Axe, put Defense Instruction on top of his deck, and Might on the bottom. And back to the app. Placing tile 203. Though you yearn to pause and bask in natural beauty, you know you must cross the river before Adoran's forces. Place heroes as indicated. Steady stream of smoke floats up into the air. You see what appears to be an encampment and remember Hanar mentioning a reliable ranger who makes camp in these parts. Perhaps he might lend you his knowledge of this land. Place a person token as indicated. This is Halberad. Objective updated. Speak with Halberad. Statue of some tremendous monster looms over the area with something held in his hand. Place a search token. Have to cross the waters of the Brandywine. The only bridge you know of is the Bridge of Stone Boughs, on the edge of the Shire. Too far away for your purposes. Let's find a more efficient way across. Place tile 205B as indicated. Adoran's minions have felled a few trees and arranged them into a defensive barrier. Place a threat token as indicated. Nearby, you see the edge of a Brandywine and what appear to be Adoran's minions patrolling the riverbanks. Place a threat token as indicated. Some of the lookouts have spotted you. Place 1 Orc Hunter on the indicated space. Place tile 101B. Place tile 100B. And exploration tokens. Place tile 301B. And an exploration token. Starting the action phase. We will start with Aragorn. Using Will Provisioned. Start your turn. You may discard the skill for you and a nearby hero to scout to. He is about to explore, so we will prep Wanderer and put Master Tactician on top of the deck. For Gimli, he's been cut off, and we have Defense Instruction. When a hero tests to negate damage or fear, they may spend 1 inspiration to convert 1 lore to 2 successes. It also has the Guard 2 ability. So we will prep this and put this on the bottom of the deck. And then we will have Aragorn move north. And explore. Strand of Silver Insect stretches out to meet you as you near the lowland. Discard the exploration token and gain an inspiration. A small light glints off the ground. Place a search token. Your journey continues. And his second movement will move over here and explore. Built by skilled hands, these crafted stones yet stand against the waters. Discard the exploration token and gain an inspiration. Tall patch of dark green and pale purple grass is rustling in the wind. Place a search token. Your journey continues. So with the move, you will go ahead and interact with that search token. As the grass ripples, you can see a statue of some sort nestled in its depths. Tops of the blades are nearly over your head. What sort of grass grows this tall? Test wisdom. Well, before that happens, after you explore a tile, you or a nearby hero can scout 1. We'll go ahead and have him scout. And we're good with that being on top. So then for the wisdom, we have 2 successes, which is enough to pass. A little bit impeded. Take a deep breath and plunge into the grass. It's oddly dark inside, but you are able to find your way to a small carved stone statue you saw earlier. Pick it up now to find your way out. Test agility, which is 2. We have 1 success, which is all we needed. Moving quickly, you soldier your way through the grass. It whispers as you move through it, and the sound strikes you as oddly menacing. Eventually, you burst into a clearing, and you almost cheer with relief. Lore increases by 1. Gain an inspiration. Then discard the search token. That was it for Aragorn. Gimli will interact with the person token. Leader of a company of rangers, and Era trusted him. Perhaps he can help on a quest, so we will speak. Halberd's stiff demeanor and sour countenance soften as you introduce yourself. Nar sent word to expect you, he says. She has made a full recovery. Before I commit my rangers to your cause, however, I will need you to convince me of the danger posed by this Adarin. Test wit. Is a wit of 2. So just 1 success. Describe what you learned of Adarin so far and convince Halberd that your cause is worthy. When the time comes, my warriors will be with you. Gain an inspiration. Halberd turns to gaze across the river. they come from Fornost, they must be aimed at Anuminus. It is the only city to the west that shares a history with Farnost Arain. But be wary. Anuminus is a haunted city, and now the dead things that lie there stir. After brief consultation, you determine that if you cross the river soon, you may still arrive ahead of Adarin's minions. Halberd explains that Adarin's minions are patrolling the banks heavily, but if you still want to reach Anuminus, you might be able to sneak across if you could make a small raft. Land around these parts is well stocked with materials. Have plenty of rope, but you will need oars, pitch, and wood. Object updated. Gather raft supplies. And place tile 201A. Place tile 300B. Place tile 304A. 206B. 306A. And a whole lot of exploration tokens. So for Gimli's second action, he will move east, exploring. There used to be prosperous settlement here, but all that is left now is crumbling rock ruins. Discard the exploration token and gain an inspiration. Small basket of leaves sits here, seemingly abandoned. Place a search token. These ruins hold many answers for those who take the time to look. Place a search token. Your journey continues. And he will move on more space. That will end the hero's action phase. Shadow phase. Moving one will not reach Gimli or the closest hero, so no target. Or counts its arrows as it stalks toward you. Move 2 spaces toward the closest space adjacent to a hero. Shadow deepens, the hope yet endures. Threat increases by 11. Peaceful hums of nature are interrupted by the murder of crows cawing, one after the other. Know to be wary of these birds, as they could very well be spies for Adarin. Aragorn suffers 2 fear, with spirit negating. So 2 cards. He's being followed, and nothing, so no saves there, and nothing to prevent it. So first fear. In fighting, each nearby hero flips 1 damage face up, then flip this card face down. I've separated the party, so that's not a problem. And gloom. Flip this card face down. Rally phase. Hero resets their deck and scouts 2. So first Aragorn. Scouting 3 because of his ability. Let's see. He will prep the Luckware and place the other 2 cards on the bottom of his deck. And Gimli. Looking at 2. He's a little bit arrogant. But he's got ready defense, and we will prep that, putting arrogant on the bottom. And for the first action, Aragorn has a friend in with him. Let's see how bad that's going to be. Large Orc Hunter, 1 armor, and 7 health. So he will go ahead and start that attack. 3 might. Getting 2 successes. And 2 successes will give him 5 hits. Arnor will hit back. Loses several arrows in quick succession. Agility negates. He has agility of 2. He was impeded and with 1 success. So that is 2 damage coming his way. First damage, putrid boils from arrows, okay. Each nearby hero flips 1 fear face up, then flip this card face down. Once again, we don't have nearby friends at the moment. And a concussion. Keep this card face up, decrease each of your stats by 1. At the end of your turn, flip this card face down. Well, he will swing again after we confirm here. So stats down by 1. That'll get him 2 cards. 0 successes. But we have plenty of inspiration. We need 4 damage. So we will spend 2 inspiration to do 5 hits. Which will remove the Arnor and gain an inspiration. So that was 2 for Aragorn. So Gimli, he will start by searching, overturning each rock, tracing the subtle patterns of the earth, and noting the sparse plant life tells you more than you thought possible. Gain 2 inspiration. It's already close to his max, so he'll get 1. Then discard the search token. And for his second, we'll move 1 here to explore. Overlooking a circle of ancient stones, the ruin of Watch Station stands on a lonely hill. Discard the exploration token and gain an inspiration. Journey continues. So he will move 1 more space. And that will conclude hero actions. So into the shadow phase. Shadow deepens, threat increases by 10. Adaran scouts stalk you through the trees, slipping through the shadows. Place 1 Orc Marauder, the indicated space. Place a Ruffian, the indicated space. Which is where Gimli is holding up. Rally phase. Hero resets their deck and then scouts 2. So Aragorn, we'll look at 3 cards here. Actually, at the start of the rally phase, we'll have Aragorn eat some food. The concussion should have flipped, so we will randomize those and remove 1 of them. And then Aragorn scouting. Well, he's probably going to attack soon. Yeah, we will prep the spirit, put Master Tactician on top of the deck, and Thorngill on the bottom. And Gimli looking at 2. Poetart, we'll put on the bottom of the deck, and Ready Defense on top. And for first action, we will have Gimli attack using his Restless Axe. Start your turn. He'll get a free attack with an additional 2 hits. Looking at 4 cards. A little arrogant, but he does have 1 success. We will put this back on top and spin an inspiration for 2 successes to provide 6 hits. Confirm that. Remove the ruffian and gain that inspiration back. And then for his second action, he will move over here to explore. Buildings in this area look well stocked. You can probably find some great materials here. Discard the exploration token and also the inspiration because he's already at his max. Vermin are everywhere in the city, crawling through muck and spreading filth. Place a threat token as indicated. A wisp of smoke marks a small but sturdy blacksmith's forge. The clang of metal can be heard from the work going on inside. Place a person token as indicated. See a barrel of pitch resting atop a rickety platform. Place a search token. Journey continues. He will go ahead and move. And since his first attack was free with the 2 extra hits, 1 action for move, and his second action will be to interact with this person. So, black-haired dwarf woman quenches a glowing piece of iron as you approach. "Tall horseshoes and hinges," she complains. "How I long to forge something worthy of a great hero." Respond with, "I wish you luck," or you could forge something for me. Think Gimli would like that. Woman smiles wistfully. But I will need a load of fine Numenarian steel and coal from the Blue Mountains. Should you find both of those in your travels, I would rise to that challenge, gain an inspiration, which he doesn't have room to hold. So we'll place a search token over there. Pile of crates stashed here has been weathered by time, but smudges of dark grit can be seen around the corners. Brown earth was washed away here, showing something glinting beneath the dirt. Place a search token as indicated. And that will be it for Gimli. So for Aragorn, he will move 1 space and interact with the threat token. Riverbanks are heavily guarded by Adoran's minions. If you tried to cross here, you would surely alert Adoran to your exact location. That would jeopardize your mission. Better not go near them at all. In that case, he will move over here, and with the second action, start a fight. So 3 might, 3 successes, which will be 8 hits. Apply that. Move the orc and gain an inspiration. And after you defeat an enemy group, you may discard 1 face down damage or fear. And I think we will get rid of one of those fear. So we'll just get rid of that one. And that will end the action phase. To the shadow phase. Threat increases by 10. Edwin's army is drawing close, and you know your time is running out. Each hero gains a weakness and shuffles it into their deck. The more enemies notice you, the more dangerous it will become to complete your journey across the Brandywine. Discard this threat token. The approach is now close enough to spot you and attack you. 2 scouts have been placed. Rally phase. Hero resets their deck and then scouts 2. So for Aragon, that'll be 3 cards. He's been followed. Ancient Wisdom and lead the charge. We are going to lead the charge. Oops. Discarding the Wanderer and put these 2 on the bottom of our deck. For Gimli, Arrogant once again, and Fury. When you attack, you may spend any amount of lore to add an equal number of hits. So we'll prep that and put Arrogant on the bottom. And for the first turn, we will have Gimli move over here and interact with the threat token. Vermin are everywhere in the city, crawling through muck and spreading filth. Sight of rats and roaches scuttling from shadow to shadow turns your stomach. Test Spirit. You need 3 successes, and he has a spirit of 4. So there's 1 success. We'll spend 2 inspiration to get us our 3. To pass that test, control your disgust and focus instead on the task at hand. Discard the threat token. And then he will finish his move, going 1 space up here to explore. Area of Ruined Foundation marks where a settlement used to be. Discard the exploration token and gain the inspiration. Yellow flowers surround an old stone well. Place a search token. Among the rubble, you see what appears to be a boat oar. While you attempt to determine where the oar came from, you realize that the stones around it are shifting. Place a threat token. Journey continues. So Aragorn will move up for an attack. With 2 successes. That will get him 5 hits. Which takes care of one of the spiked armored goblin scouts. Moving 1 from the board. And getting hit back. Goblin sweeps its spear in wide arcs in an attempt to disarm you. Might negates. Hoping to get 2 successes here. We have 1. And we will take a damage, flip 1 face up, 1 fear face up, then flip this card face down. And the fear face up would be each nearby hero flips damage face up, but we don't have anyone nearby, and then this goes face down. Since we suffered a damage, we have to discard a prepared card, and we will get rid of Spirit. So that was a move and an attack. So both heroes have gone. To the shadow phase. Threat increases by 7. Sun falls behind the hills to the west. Each space is now in darkness. Rally phase. Hero resets their deck and scouts 2. So at the start of the rally phase, Aragorn will eat a little meal and get rid of a random wound. Then use Luckware after you deplete a trinket. You may remove this skill from the adventure to gain a boon of your choice and place a depletion token on that item. So remove that from the game. Get a token back. And so possible boons. Determined. When you test, you may discard this boon to discard any number of cards from the test and reveal that many additional cards. Embolden. At the start of your turn, if there are no nearby enemies, discard this boon. If you suffer damage or fear, discard this boon. When you attack, add 2 hits. Or hidden. If you are attacked before you test, prevent all damage and discard this boon. When you attack, you may discard this boon to add a success. I think we are going to take Emboldened. And then for his scouting, 3 cards. Little Misfortune. Probably not going to explore. We will just put this on top of our deck. Prep the Wanderer anyway. And place this on the bottom of our deck. For Gimli. So Restless Axe and Undying Might. I think we will prep Undying Might, put the axe on top. Discarding Fury. So to start our turn, we'll have Aragorn make an attack. Looking at 3 cards, getting 2 successes, which would be 5 hits. Which will take out that Goblin Scout. Remove the Scout. Gain an Inspiration, which will put him at his max. And then, because of his sword, after you defeat an enemy group, you may discard a face-down damage or fear. So we will get rid of the fear. And for his second action, he will move to 2 to explore. Here is partially populated with moderately sized trees. Discard the exploration token and the inspiration because he is at max. Bundle of twigs is on the ground here. Place a search token. Some moderately sized trees are swayed with the wind and they look like they'd fall with just a firm push. You can use them to fashion a raft, a crude one. Place a search token. And because he explored a tile, he will be able to scout one. It's nice to, we will discard that card or put it on the bottom. Journey continues. So that was a fight and a movement for Aragorn. Gimli will interact with the token, searching among the rubble. You approach, the rubble begins to shift and debris bursts out at you. Test agility. All one of it. We will use his boots to deplete a token. So instead of using agility, we can use might. And to get one success, we will go ahead and spend 2 inspiration tokens to give us 3 successes. Dodge the rubble. A rough screech betrays the presence of a goblin lurking behind the rubble and launching debris at you with a boat oar. You duck another volley and rush the creature. Discard this threat token and spawn a goblin scout as indicated. You may immediately attack it as a free action. So take a look at how beastie this guy is. Just 1 armor and 3 health. So Gimli getting a free attack. We have 2 successes, which will do 6 hits and be more than enough to get rid of the creature. And we will put Restless Axe on top of the deck. Move the Goblin Scout and gain an inspiration. Life drains from the enemy's body as it falls backward onto the ground. Pick up the oars lying neatly beside its corpse. You have found several oars. And for his second action, he will just move 2. And that will complete the hero's turn. To the shadow phase. Darkness, each hero suffers 2 fear, spirit negating. So Aragorn, 1 success, and spend an inspiration to negate both. And Gimli, he's been cut off and arrogant with 1 success, and he will spend an inspiration to negate both. Shadow deepens, threat increases by 6. Now that the sun has set, the number of patrols guarding the banks of the Brandywine has increased. Each hero suffers 1 fear. With spirit negating, each hero who suffers a fear discards all boons. So Aragorn, 2 cards. 1 success, so he is good. Then Gimli needs to shuffle his deck. And 1 success in being watched. Place a hungry ward on the indicated space. Rally phase. Tier resets their deck and scouts 2. Aragorn will eat some food to discard his last wound. Then scouting 3 is being followed. He will prep Wit and put Strider on top of his deck. and followed on the bottom. And for Gimli, looking at 2 cards, we'll just put both of these on the bottom of his deck. We will have Aragorn move 1 space to interact with this token. Riverbanks are heavily guarded by Adoran's minions. If you tried to cross here, you would surely alert Adoran to your exact location. That would jeopardize your mission. Better not go near them at all. And then we'll have him move back to this location. And I forgot to remove this token previously. And then for Gimli, he's going to search where he's at. A pile of crates. So you approach the crates. A serpent slithers out of its hidden nest, hissing threateningly. Testing agility. So again, we will use our boots, last depletion token, to test our might instead. We have 3 successes. Snake is too slow to escape your grasp, and you definitely toss it to the side. Examine the crates, you realize they are packed with a long abandoned shipment of Blue Mountain coal. Claiming 1 crate for yourself, you leave the rest for the snakes. Gain an inspiration and discard the search token. And for a second action, he will move 1 space down here to explore. This area, several trees stand tall and strong. They look well suited to raft building. Discard the exploration token and gain an inspiration. Particularly sturdy tree looks to be perfect size for making a raft. Place a search token as indicated. Journey continues. And then he will move back up here because he wants that other dwarf to make him something fancy. That will conclude the hero's activation. Shadow phase. Warg is going to move 3 to attack Gimli. Warg's jaws snap close with the force of a felling axe. Might negates. After this attack, gain a weakness and place it on the bottom of your deck. That's not good. Oops. We're on Gimli. So 4 cards. A little bit of arrogance, a little bit of watched, a little bit of no successes. We will spin 2 inspiration. Actually, we'll just spend 1 inspiration. And then guard 3 for the rest. So we're not taking any wounds, but after the attack, we will take 1 weakness and place it on the bottom of the deck. Darkness. Each hero in darkness suffers 2 fear. Spirit negating. So first with Aragorn. 1 success. And spend for 2. And then Gimli. He will Discard 2. Shadows deepens, though hope yet endures. Threat increases by 5. Rally phase. Hero resets their deck and scouts 2. That would be 3 for Aragorn. We'll put Lead the Charge on top. And prep Thorngill, put Gift 'em in on the bottom. Discarding the Wanderer. Then for Gimli, we put Ready Defense on top, and prep You Cannot Pass. We will start with Aragorn, searching here. Bundle of twigs. Upon closer inspection, this is an old bird's nest. You check your surroundings and are confused. Can an enemy have knocked this nest from a tree? Testing wit. Getting 1 success. We're impeded and followed, but we have 1 success, which is what we needed to pass. Appears this bird's nest wasn't left here by a careless enemy, but a thoughtful passerby. The eggs hidden within a safely cushion on soft grass and tucked away out of sight of predators. Hopefully, if you leave it undisturbed, the parents will continue to care for their young in safety, gain an inspiration, and discard the search token. And then we will have him move 2 and in his turn. As for Gimli, he is going to attack the warg, who has 8 health and 1 armor. So top 4 cards. We have 3 successes, which will be 11 hits and a sunder, which should do the damage. And then we will put Restless Axe back on top of our deck. Confirm. Remove the warg and gain an inspiration. And then for his second action, he will search this token in the dirt. Dig carefully and find a long dead Numenera warrior, clad and armed in bright steel. The metal is still smooth and sharp despite its age. Testing Spirit. So we have 1 success, and we will spend an inspiration for a second. Dig up the quartz without a care and scavenge the steel for your own use. You try to ignore the feeling of dread that follows you, thinking instead of the smith and what she could do with such fine material. Suffer a fear, then gain an inspiration and discard the search token. So the fear, surrender, keep this card face up. If you would discard a face up fear, flip it face down instead. So that was 2 actions for him. We are running out of time. Probably shouldn't have been going for those components. Hero in Darkness suffers 2 fear with Spirit negating. So first for Aragorn, we will spend 1 for 1 success. Take a fear, and we would have lost this a while ago. So the fear, the gloom, flip it face down. And Gimli, 4 cards. Arrogant, cut off. He will spend 1 to get a success. And since we were testing to negate his ready defense, we'll add another success so we don't take anything there. Threat increases by 5. Rustle in the bushes heralds the arrival of one of Halberd's rangers. Enemies have swarmed the docks and both riverbanks. There will be no crossing that way. It marks a path for you to place where the riverbanks are close and the water shallow, but very swift and treacherous. It's your only option, the scout says. You must cross here. Objective updated, ford the river. Playstyle 202B. Rangers have marked a path to this area where the banks are close together and the water is shallow but very dangerous. Place a search token as indicated. Some of the lookouts have spotted you. Place an orc hunter on the indicated space. Bridge Rangers are waiting here to help lead you to the river crossing. Place a person token as indicated. Rangers are waiting here to help lead you to the river crossing. Place a person token as indicated. The more enemies notice you, the more dangerous it will become to complete your journey across the Brandywine. Discard this threat token. Rally phase. Each hero resets their deck and then scouts 2. So for Aragorn, scouting 3. Impeded, followed, and a Wanderer. So we will put all those on the bottom of our deck. And Gimli. Two cards. We will prep Kinship and put Fury on the bottom of our deck. For the action phase, we will have Aragorn do a little fighting. Let's see what this guy looks like. An orc hunter who's shrouded, hardened, and bloodthirsty. So we are going to hope for the best here. And get 1 success. And spend 2 inspiration. So that will do 8 hits. Which is just enough. Remove the Orc Hunter, gain an inspiration. And since he took out defeated an enemy group, you can discard a face down fear, so we'll get rid of that. And for his second move or action, he will move 2 to be ready to talk to this ranger. Then for Gimli, he's going to move 2 and talk to this dwarf again. And see if that costs me the game or not. Smith is still busy with her hammer and horseshoes. You ought not bother her more until you have the correct materials. I have your supplies. Dwarf casts down her half-finished busywork and leaps to her forge. "Bring them here," she cries, "and let us begin." After hours of hot and spirited work, the smith holds aloft her creation. It is a work of art in shining steel, somehow both elegant and powerful. "My masterpiece," she declares. "Its name is Akriz, which means warmth and glory. Just carry it with pride." Lore increases by 3. Gain the Flamebearer title and immediately prepare it. Then discard this person token. So Flamebearer. When a nearby enemy is attacked by another hero, you may remove this skill from the adventure to add 2 modifiers of your choice to that attack. And so we will prep that, discarding Undying Might. Confirm that Gimli has the title. So that was a move and an interact. So that was all their actions. Shadow phase. Tyro in darkness suffers 2 fear. Spirit negating. So we have 1 success, so Aragorn will take 1 fear. Looming Shadows. If you are in a space with darkness, suffer a fear, then flip this card face down. And since the whole board is in darkness, we will suffer another fear, which is Greed. Deplete another hero's trinket without resolving its effect. If you cannot, suffer 1 face down fear. So he can't deplete it, so he will suffer face down fear. That will give Aragorn a total of 3 fear. And then Gimli, 4 cards, 1 success. And with his ready defense, he will negate the other one, so he will take no fear. Threat increases by 4. Rally phase. Tyro resets their deck and scouts 2. So Aragorn will look at 3 cards. Prepping well provisioned and putting Master Tactician on top and Time of Need on the bottom. We'll discard Wit. And then for Gimli. We will put Ready Defense on top and Arrogant on the bottom. We will start our turn with Aragorn using Well Provisioned so that he can scout 2. And we will put Misfortune on the bottom, Master Tactician back on the top. And then for Aragorn's first action, he will interact with this person. Bridge Rangers are waiting here to help lead you to the river. Interact. Rangers here advise you to always keep 2 points of contact while crossing a river. They point you in the right direction. Remove this person token and place it on your hero sheet. It will help you while crossing the river. We'll move to this direction. Then for Gimli's turn, he will move 2 and then move 2 again. Ending the action phase. To the shadow phase. Tyro suffers 2 fear with Spirit negating. Aragorn negates both. And Gimli will negate both. Threat increases by 4. This will be our last turn, it looks like. So rally phase, each hero resets their deck and scouts 2. So Aragorn looking at 3 cards. We will prep well provisioned and put these 2 on the bottom. And Gimli. Looking at 2. Prepping Yielding Spirit and put the axe on top. Discard the Flame Bearer. We will start the turn with Gimli, moving 2 and interacting with the search token. River is narrow and the water rushes by in frothy rapids. Looks dangerous, but the rangers assure you it's possible to cross safely. Crossing can only be made if all heroes are in this space. We will cancel. In that case, we will go to Aragorn's turn. Action, well, he will use well provisioned to scout 2, prepping wind, and putting this on the bottom of the deck. Move action, sprinting 3, 1, 2, 3, and interact with that token. Talk about getting lucky. Ford the river. Follow you here. You're ready to attempt to cross the river. This is your last chance to cross the Brandywine ahead of Adoran's troops. Take everything you have. All heroes test might. Heroes may discard person tokens from the hero sheets to add an equal number of successes. So first, we will have Aragorn test with a little help from Gimli to let him look at 2 additional cards. So he will look at 3, getting 1 success, spending a token for a 2nd success, and then the hero for a 3rd success. And then for Gimli, looking at 4 cards. Wow, arrogant, harried, so 2 successes. So a total of 5 successes. Through careful teamwork, you survived the crossing of the violent waters. As you cross to the other side, you spot Halberad waving from his encampment. You smile in thanks and wave back, knowing that you will see him and his rangers again soon enough when you confront Adoran. For now, you steel yourself to face the restless dead with the numinous that Halberad mentioned and wonder if they have something to do with Adoran. Heroes win. You have stayed a step ahead of Adoran's army. You will reach the gates of a numinous shortly. Lore increases by 3. Each hero receives 4 experience. I hope you enjoyed this playthrough. If so, please click the like button below and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.